Good afternoon, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I forgot what today was. It's Wednesday, guys, and although I am sick, I am feeling so much better than I did yesterday. I actually got a ton of home improvement stuff done today, guys, and oh my goodness, you guys aren't gonna believe it. On top of that, I made dinner tonight, and I also cleaned the kitchen. So I'll share with you guys my mini home improvement that I did, and then what I'm gonna do tomorrow, actually. So I'll share that with you guys in just a second. I'm actually watching the end of the Bulls game right now. They're down, and there's only a couple minutes left. I'm looking for something really good to start popping, or else a miracle. But most likely, I don't know. There's still a good amount of time left, and you know, they could make something happen, but I don't know. I'm not totally sure. Rondo might be back though for the next game, which would be awesome. I think they play again on Friday, and then I think maybe they play on Monday again. I'm not totally sure if it goes to a game 7, which I would hope it does. But yeah. Oh no, that goes on Sunday. They just popped up the schedule right now, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I'm feeling totally better. I have a little bit of a stuffy nose, a little bit of a cough, but overall, I'm so much better. The thing was, guys, today it was like 70s today, and it was really warm, but I was like cold and then warm, and then I get cold again, and so I'm not totally sure if that was like the cold or if that was just like from the weird weather and stuff like that. Because it was also like raining, it was cloudy out, and then it would be sunny and super sunny out. But yeah, anyways, I'll share with you guys a home improvement in just a couple seconds. We've got a minute 39 left in the Bulls game. Yes, guys, Bulls ended up losing by a large margin. Well, I guess decent amount. Anyways, yeah, guys, it wasn't. They played a really good game up until pretty much like the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter was just kind of like not very good. They were like within only like, I don't think that the Celtics ever led by more than 5 points, and then it was just not very good. But on to today's what's it called? Today's home improvement of the day. And look at what I did, guys. I hung blinds in the kitchen, which I don't think we have ever had blinds in the kitchen. And the thing is, we removed the curtains that we had up there. The curtains that we had literally took up about like half of the actual like about that much of the window, and they were like solid curtains, so there was no light coming in, so we were losing almost half of the light that was coming into the kitchen. And my mom was saying how she wants to have like potted plant, well, not potted plants, but like herbs and stuff like that in the kitchen, so we can have fresh herbs in the kitchen like all year round. What she wanted to do is do like glass shelves like from there to there, and for one thing, I think that would be pretty expensive to do glass, especially like that long of a piece of glass. And like, I don't know, I personally don't think it would be like super like that sturdy, and if you do get like that glass, I don't know, I just think it would be pretty expensive. So while I was on Pinterest, because I've been pinning things like crazy, guys, well, for one, we are gonna get blinds, or not, we have blinds. We're gonna get like kind of curtains. Pretty much, I actually think we have leftover lace curtains, the ones that are in the living room, which I'll show you guys real quick. I think that there's like 2 or 3 maybe left over, like these ones that we have in the living room. And honestly, I think there's too many in this. I think we could probably pull one of these off, because like it looks clustery compared to like the ends where there's only one. This I think has 3 or 4 maybe, and then that one I think has 2, which that one looks a little bit better, but like that looks like there's not enough compared to that. So if we can find even one, we might be able to like substitute, like pull one off of there and put one on here, because I think at one point we did have more, but we'll see. And that's what my mom wants to do. But the thing is, since it is lace, it'll let in a lot more sunlight and like natural light and stuff like that, because this, I think this one is literally the light that gets, or the room that gets the most light, like the windows. And so, but they're like hidden. And I think these ones, and in the bathroom, which we have like, you know, ice glass or whatever it's called in the bathroom, so obviously that doesn't get like a ton of light. And then there's one window in my mom's office, which is I don't know if it's actually covered or not, but like for the most part, like the windows that I feel like get the most sunlight are the ones that were like more covered than any of the other ones, and I love natural light. So I convinced my mom. I was like, Mom, okay, here's like what we should do. And because we actually had these blinds already, my dad bought these at Menards because they're the ones that fit the smaller windows, the ones I just showed you guys in the living room. But the problem is that they were too short. So my dad put one of them up and then ended up realizing they were too short and just left them there and hadn't taken them down. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take them down. We're probably going to get new ones to replace the ones in the living room anyway, because the one, it needs to be replaced. Let's tore it up. And then my dad had hung one of them and realized it was too short and just never took it down and never replaced the other one either. So these are actually perfect lengthwise for in the kitchen. And yeah, like I said, we're just gonna get new ones for the living room anyway, since we had to. But anyway, so we had these kind of like left over, and we were like, what could we do with them? They fit perfectly in the window. So I hung these myself, guys, today, all by my little lonesome. Well, actually, I had to have my dad not show me how to use the drill, but because I did it before to hang one of the blinds. I did a long time ago in the living room. Maybe it was like probably over a year ago. And so I hadn't like done it in a while, and so my dad had to help me with one of them because it was really difficult to do like in the corners, because I'm right-handed. So in the corner, when I was like in this corner, it was harder for me to hold the drill and make sure I wasn't hitting the window and make sure I wasn't like hitting the like I could still hold it and still get it in the like ceiling, because we mounted them upward. So that wasn't very, like, that was a little bit difficult. So I had to have my dad help me with just one of them, and then the other one he actually left and went to therapy, and I did it all by myself, guys. If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he can eat for a lifetime. So yeah, I can now officially hang blinds, guys. Okay, this is my second attempt now, and I've been good so far. The other ones haven't fallen down and Bliss has torn them apart. But they haven't fallen down. So anyways, and then also too, I reorganized kind of the kitchen countertops, because I told you guys over in here, I cleaned this out a little bit and went through and did some spring cleaning stuff. I love spring cleaning, guys. This is like my spring cleaning. And then I just kind of moved the, what's it called? The KitchenAid over a little bit, and then moved this. And this was actually, I'll show you guys in a second. I moved the toaster oven where this was, and so I just put this here. This can honestly be moved onto the kitchen table. Right now, I have a couple of groceries left on the kitchen table. I didn't get put away yet, so that's why it's not there. But this actually, I cut today on this countertop, which this is all the countertop we have, guys, okay? That is all the countertop we have in the kitchen. And so I actually was able to cut on here today. I was like, wow, there's so much room. And then, okay, the sink, like I just kind of cleaned everything too. And then also, then I moved the microwave over onto this side and cleaned down the counters and everything. The stove is dirty, and that's a whole nother story, but I did all of this pretty much so far. And I just have leftover Tupperware that I'm actually going to put in the fridge and cut oranges tomorrow and put in there. Over here, this little bookshelf my mom actually ended up putting here. It fits perfectly in between the white cabinet and the door frame. The bookshelf was my grandma's, and so what we ended up doing was putting like there's some jarred stuff, like I think there's tea bags and hot chocolate mix and popcorn and like some of the stuff like that. I think there's Kool-Aid in that one. We have that stuff at the bottom, and then up here is all the cookbooks. And then on top of this, my mom had some decorative stuff, but I was like, let's try and use it more for functionality. And since the toaster oven actually fit here perfectly, originally I wanted to put the microwave. The microwave was a little bit too big, but honestly, that thing, I hate the microwave on the countertop. It takes up so much space. But since this would fit, I was like, okay, great, that works. And we ended up moving it over here, and I just bring an extension cord over to the outlet over there, so it works perfectly fine and everything like that, and we were able to get that off the counter. Me and my dad were talking about some other stuff too that we can do as far as like different things go in the kitchen too, is trying to just take advantage of the excess space that isn't being used, I guess, in the kitchen. And like that bookshelf, like I said, I mean, it's cute to have little decoratives and whatever over there, but if it can be used for functionality, let's use it for functionality, because keeping the toaster oven, which is something that's really difficult to like put away because we use it really often, like for breakfast, like almost all the time. Like I will normally have a bagel a lot of times. If I don't do my meal prep, I will more than likely have a bagel for breakfast. And so, you know, that's something that gets used by by 2-3 people sometimes every single morning. So it's really something we have to keep out. And then the microwave too, I mean, we can't like put that away. And the KitchenAid is really heavy, so it's hard to move in and out when we need to, and it would be easier to keep on the counter. So that's why it is. And then like the utensils that, you know, this over here is just, you know, like I said, easier to have out, and we don't have anywhere else extra to put that. But with some of the new ideas, we might not even need to have that there anymore, and it would be really awesome. So what me and my dad are actually going to do is try and build a rolling island that will actually house the garbage cans, right? So it's going to take the space of both of these 2 garbage cans, right, and that, which is kind of our rolling island right now. And instead we're actually going to make a island. And the problem is that thing is kind of flimsy. I don't love it. I mean, like, it's really nice, but it's not ideal. So I've done some, again, DIYs on Pinterest and looked some stuff up. And I think I have an idea of how I want to do it. And I don't want them to be, I know a lot of the, like, ones that I found on Pinterest are, like, drop down, or not drop out, down, what are they called? Like, tilt out garbage cans, so that they'll be like, you know, in a cabinet or whatever, and they'll tilt out. I want a sliding one only because I think it'd be easier for Matthew and Jack to get the garbage and recycling out of there. And then on top of that too, though, we can use it as, you know, put it back over here when we're done with it, but then also be able to slide it over and use it extra counter space. And on top of that too, we can keep hand towels on there. We are going to most likely keep like pot holders and oven mitts, paper towels as well. So there's like lots of other things that we can do. And on top of that too, we could probably make it with drawers, which is one thing that's really difficult because the only drawer that we have is this one. This is the only drawer we have, right? It is a hot mess, and no matter how many times I organize it, when it's the only drawer you have and you have a lot of things that need to go in a drawer, it is really difficult to try and keep it organized, no matter how many times I try, guys. But I'm hoping that if we end up doing that, it might take some of that clutter out of there. And it is broken too. It doesn't actually sit on the track right anymore because, again, it's the only drawer, so we overload it with all the things that need to go in a drawer. But what my dad is picking up for me at Menards tomorrow to do as another DIY, and I got to use the drill and everything, is buying it's $15, and they are to use for the kitchen, underneath the kitchen sink, the drawers, right? The ones that look like drawers, but they aren't actually drawers. Well, one of ours, when we first moved in here, I pulled this out because I thought it was a real drawer. So it's already came out pretty much, like just up to this part. This one doesn't, right? It's not a drawer. And so what these actually are tip out drawers, and you can put things in there like dish towels or dish rags, and also like sponges or scrubbies and stuff like that. So that will keep, again, a little bit of clutter off of here, and we can probably end up getting rid of this, which I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I want that. So that is probably going to be my task for tomorrow. It's, again, $15, and it's for a double set. So for both of those, we'll have them. And like I said, only 15 bucks. I looked at some of them online, and they were like $40. So I'm not expecting the quality to be like perfect, but I was like, 40 compared to 15, like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be at least decent, and we can always try it out. And if we're like, oh my gosh, this is horrible, and, you know, we really need to upgrade to a better quality one or whatever, we always can, but just to kind of test it out and see if it works well or not. But I thought it was such a good idea. So basically, the drawer just tips out, and then it has like a little like pocket kind of thing in there, almost the same size as the little thing that we have sitting here anyway, this kind of thing. And so then it would just like be in the drawer. So if it was sitting in the drawer like this, it would just tip out when you pull the drawer forward, and then you could just grab out whatever you need. So we can keep extra, like I said, dish towels, dish rags, or not dish towels so much, but like dish rags, other little things that we use for the sink that can kind of sit in there, which I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so happy about that, because again, that would just a little tiny extra space that you are like, oh, it's just for, you know, show or whatever, can actually save you a lot of space, or at least make your counter not look so cluttered, you know, or something like that, which I'm like, yes. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. I did a lot of cleaning today, a lot of DIY, but I didn't want to make today's vlog too long because I'd like to fill you guys in tomorrow too on if I'm able to actually do this tomorrow, if I get a chance, because my dad's going to pick it up after work, and I think we have Matthew's volleyball game tomorrow too, so I don't know if I'm going to get to it. But I also made dinner tonight too, which was a success because I was like, originally I was like, oh, I don't know if we're going to get a chance to, but I made a one-pot dinner and it took me like literally probably about 10 minutes, as long as it takes to cook pasta. It was super easy. So it was like a pasta, it was a vegetarian dish. Actually, I think it's pretty much vegan. But it just depends on what type of pasta I guess you get, because sometimes they'll have egg in it and stuff like that. So if it's not, it is vegetarian. Anyways, guys, I'm rambling on. It's like a pasta, like a roasted tomato pasta or something like that. You do it with like grape tomatoes, you chop them up and then add in a couple seasonings and garlic and basil and stuff like that. It was super, super tasty. It's a little spicy because you do use red pepper flakes, but I thought it was really good. Anyways though, guys, I'm going to take a shower and head to bed. If you guys did enjoy today's vlog, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe. I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.